Going live. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me, man. Let's see, we got somebody up in here. Oh, Gun God, what's up with it, bro? About to go live, man. It's gonna be a crazy show. Get your popcorn, get your beer. We about to talk a lot of shit right here tonight. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Oh shit. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Everyone's tactical. What's going on, man? Jesse Alvarez, let's go. 2A Tech. Can hear you loud and clear. Okay. Okay. Gun God, I see you. Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. It's crazy. I decided to go live. I got some guns up so y'all can see the guns. What it do, NK Lundy? What it do, YouTube? Yeah, man. I'm uh I'm going live because I had a lot to do and I didn't want to do no videos. 'Cause I'm gonna be busy. But it's gonna be a long live. I tell y'all right now, so you got time, man. I'm gonna give probably like about 3 or 4 minutes, and we gonna start talking about some shit. So hey, everyone's tactical. You said the audio was fine. Good. Okay. What up, Lil Sin? Yeah, y'all just hold on 1 second. I gotta give me some beer. Fuck this shit, man. I ain't about to be sitting here drinking no water. Shit. It's hella hot out here in Louisiana right now. New Orleans. It's like if you want to know how hot it is right now, go turn your shower on. Turn it up to turn the hot water up high as you can. Close all the windows and doors, and then leave it in there for about 15 minutes, and then go up in there. And that's how it feels outside. Okay, man. I'm over here right now. Oh man, I hope everybody can see me pretty good. Let me know if y'all can see me. KP Heathen, what's up, man? Man, hey KP Heathen, man. I was just, hey man, I just thought about it. You wanted those iron sights, man. I had a thing for what was it? 50% off, man. But you know what? I'll just send you a pair, man. If you just shoot me your address and I'll just mail you some, man. Just pay me for the shipping, man. Cause shipping crazy, man. Yeah, man. I gotta be careful because y'all know my channel. I be touching guns a lot, so and I ain't done a live in a while. And the last live I did, I didn't touch no guns. I ain't had no guns in the live, but somebody was telling me like, man, when you do a live, you got to show some guns, and some people just show guns only. So, man, my hands like to touch guns, so I can't touch none of these guns. But I got the Z Pap out here for y'all, Glock 19X, and the Glock 23. Got the 22 up in there, 19, the 30. So, got something to look at. Oh, you just in the same St. Charles Parish? Man, fuck it. I can pay that shipping. It's probably like $2 or something. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a pair. They're fiber optic iron sights. I'll send you a pair. But let me show you these chips, man. Hey, my boy Silver Black Entertainment sent me these chips. These are from the Northwest, man. These are from Washington. But they make these in Pennsylvania. But they all over Washington. These these are good, man. I already ate one bag. Not I ate the original. I ate the original regular, but I think I'm gonna eat the hot honey because he said the hot honey is good. But I don't know. I'm Everybody know I'm a chip guy, so he sent me some chips. I sent him some Louisiana chips. Oh, Punks, the doctor. I'm from Punks, Punxsutawney, Punxsutawney. Wait a minute, Punxsutawney. Ain't that where the groundhog come out and if he see his shadow and all that kind of stuff? The Punxsutawney. Oh, you have seen those chips? Yeah, they from Pennsylvania. But that's where ain't that where the groundhog come out at Punxsutawney? Oh, but yeah, man. Salute. What's up with it? What about do some dips? Okay, man. Yeah, man. Man, let me tell you how hot it is, though, man. We got to get back to this. I just moved down here in October, man. Now I'm now in San Diego. It's a desert. Los Angeles, it's a desert. It's hot. We used to hot weather out there. I mean, 110, 115. It can happen in San Diego County, but this humidity, this is a different beast. And like I said, I'm not a really weather temperature type guy. Like it really bothers me that much. But man, when you walk from AC to outdoors in New Orleans, man, it literally feels like like somebody took a hot towel and shoved it all over your face and shit. Like, man, whoo, man, it's another animal. And trust me, it ain't slowing nobody down. Tourism, walking around on Bourbon Street, getting fucked up, drinking and partying. These people still out there doing it, man. It's wild, man. The groundhog name is Phil. Yeah. Oh yeah, Phil. Yeah. Man, let me crack me a beer real quick, man. I forgot. I'm drinking these right now. I'm an IPA guy, man, because California, we the ones that really kind of push that IPA. But for the most part, I drink beer. But I, but I drink IPAs. But this is Stone. This beer is from San Diego. Stone Stone hazy IPA. But I drink IPAs because I don't like drinking a lot of watered down beer like Bud and Miller and stuff because what it does for me it makes me pee a lot and but if I just drink like 3 or 4 of these at night, I'm good. I don't have to drink the whole seven, 8 beers. I ain't got time for all that. I can drink 3 or 4 of these and be lit because these things is like 6.7% alcohol, so you ain't got to really have a lot of them. Yeah, man. IPAs rock me too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They get you kind of lit. But man, let me. How long we been here? About 5 minutes. Let me get in a couple of these topics, man. But we gonna start off really. This gonna be kind of spontaneous, man. We let's talk about real quick. Did anybody see what happened to T Rex arms? Anybody follow T Rex arms? Let me see if anybody follow T Rex arms. I thought that was interesting what's going on over there, T Rex arms. Sidewalk in the building. I see you. But if nobody follow T Rex arms, I ain't gonna really talk about it. But I just thought interesting. But I can talk about it a little bit. What it comes down to is this, man. When you're creating businesses and stuff like that, man, and you got a vision of a product or whatever it may be, and you're trying to create something. Uh, I think pretty much like it always been this way, but now I think it's even more detrimental to not really do business with family and close friends because it just seems like lately, I mean, you probably can go back in history. I'm sure the Rockefellers and the Kennedys, they all had issues with internal turmoil with, how they want to run an operation. I'm sure the Italian mob, and I'm pretty sure like in any avenue of business, you want to start people you trust clearly. And, so family members are always going to be first choice and good friends you went to college with and stuff like that. Kind of like Microsoft, like Bill Gates and Ted and Paul Allen, like they all went to school together at Harvard. And, but but when they split up, when he sold his half to Bill Gates, I think that was a smart move for him because you don't have to deal with that pressure of being friends and being family. And I think what's going on with T Rex Arms might be, I don't want to speculate, but I think it's internal with his brother, man, or with his brother's friends and how they want to run the business. So, and people saying Garand Thumb is like a philanderer, like kind of not a philanderer, but he's kind of like a guy that hits on people's wives and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And when it's a lot, man. But I just want to bring that little point up, like it ain't really about T Rex arms, but it's just about doing business, man. When you're doing business, it's because I had a couple small business y'all may not know. I had a vending machine business, and I try to bring in I tried to bring in a cousin one time and a couple of friends to come in and work with me and stuff like that. And I got burned, and I learned always it always resonated with me, like what I'm saying. And because what it was doing, I had a vending machine business. I had some vending machines at certain spots, but in Oakland, California, Berkeley, where I had my machines at, is very competitive. The vending machine business is very competitive, and it's pretty much ran by like a handful of guys. Really, they all Latino. In their defense, they earned that right. And the main guy that in Oakland that runs like when you go to Oakland, California, no matter what part of Oakland you in, it doesn't even matter anywhere. Like the airport, the old Oakland Coliseum, wherever you go in Oakland, you may not notice. I noticed, but there's a guy. I ain't gonna say his name, but he pretty much runs, and he runs a lot of San Francisco too. On that, for that matter, when you pull up to a particularly Shell gas station, a Chevron gas station, a hotel lobby, FedEx, any of those private businesses that have vending machines, he has it. He has his hand in it because he's the biggest vending guy in that area. So the way it works is when even if you get a vending contract, say you got an office building and they say, hey, can I put some machines in your building? It's like they go, yeah, yeah, whoa, that's cool. Go ahead, we put some building. You can put some machines in here. When you go to find machines and go to find product and places to go, like to go buy the product and all that stuff, you got to go through him. I almost said his name. Damn it, I don't want to say his name, but you got to go through him, and everybody knows that. So, because the other way is to do it yourself, but what's going to happen is everything's going to cost a lot of money. It's like when you go try to buy vending machines, you still got to, you're going to end up back with him. So what he does is make you basically lease all his machines and buy all the product from him, and he gets to cut off of your commit off your sales off the places you got your machines in. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. So I said, fuck it, man. I went and bought my own shit and got a truck with a Tommy lift and all that kind of stuff. And basically, and we did that, and it was good. But I just my point of this whole story was just to, like, I just learned, man, like in business, it's best not to really do it with family or friends, close friends. Just you own a restaurant, let them come eat for free. Don't never you know, like, dude, it's just not good. If there's some people that can, now a lot of businesses did start as families. I'm not saying an actual family probably has a better shot of working together than family members working together. You know what I mean? Like your cousin, your uncle, your aunt. I'm saying your actual family, like if me and my wife started a business and we hire our children, oh yeah, you have a high chance of success rate. You might have to cut one of your kids off because they might start fucking off the product or getting high and partying and coming in late. Yeah, that's part of it. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when you actually put dollars together, investment together with family members. It seems not to really be a good mix, really. But an actual family, like mom, dad, son, oh no, you good in most cases, but you still got to monitor who's doing what. So I just wanted to make sure to be clear on that. Did I get a 10-minute 10 mil conversion kit yet? No, I ain't getting one yet. Nope. Oh yeah. Okay. Damn, I'm back, right? Okay, I'm back. I think I lost the whole audience though, but I'm gonna keep going. So we still got how many people up here? We got three people still up in here, man. It's all good. Yeah, man. Something went out, man. We here. Okay, yeah. Something like I said, I don't be doing too many lives. I actually gotta pay attention to this phone while I'm doing this. But I don't know if y'all heard that ramble on bio attack on humans is going. I think that's probably more likely than a bunch of dudes paratrooping in and trying to take over a country or something like that, or any country for that matter. I don't think you're gonna see that no more. I think that's all is gonna be kind of like, last line defense, so to speak, after they make the preemptive attack on how they gonna do things, and then come in with like with regular traditional arms and stuff like that. But I don't think you're going. I think it's gonna be a lot of weird stuff like biohazard stuff like that. That's gonna go down, man. It's gonna be a lot worse than what people think. And I think they already know now that people are already kind of getting wind of this stuff. Heck yeah, they just arrested some fakes with a fungus. Yeah, see. And then also, you got to think about it. In COVID, the one thing we learned about COVID was that our hospitals and stuff, they can't handle it. They can't handle it. They cannot handle it. A mass pandemic, people just like fucked up, all kind of shit, whatever it may be. Just man, the whole system would crash. The whole system would crash, and I think that's what that test was, to see how we could handle a epidemic or a mass pandemic like like hundreds of thousands of people sick at the same time rushing to hospitals. It's not going to happen, man. Some people ain't going to make it, just like COVID. Rest in peace to all those people who did like lost their lives in COVID. But that was the first really big test, little beta test, to see how we can handle something like that. So you can imagine if they somebody dropped a bomb or did something like that. Or what's up, well dressed? I see you back up in here. Yeah, man. You can imagine how bad it could be, though, man, on a preemptive attack on mass population people that don't have a defense mechanism, so to speak, set up. So that's why we're gonna see what's gonna happen, man. But it's getting crazy, Like I said, I don't like all that little, like how now Trump and Putin ain't getting along and all this, and Elon Musk. It's kind of scary, man. So, oh, but let me tell you something. Let's go to the next topic real quick. The guys that escaped from the jail. So I ran into a cat that know the cat that is actually missing today in the quarter. The one with the tattoos on his face. So I knew a cat that knew that cat when grew up with him a little bit. And so according to this dude, this is what he's saying. I'm not. You can take what you want out of it. He's saying, because I don't know if y'all heard about it. He did a video saying that, hey man, that girl lied on me, because his chart, he's not a murderer. He's not in there on murder. Now the other dude's in there on murder. So that's why he ain't do no video live. He didn't do it live to explain his case. But the cat who did the video to explain his case, he's not in there on murder. And that's why I was tripping, because when they showed all the escapees and they put their cases, what they was in there for, it was only two of them that said, like, why did they do it? Because one dude was in there for what was it? Aggravated assault, drug possession, and possession of a firearm, as so that's a big deal. But my point is, that ain't enough to really, like, you dude, you probably could just did your time and got out in a little bit, right? And the guy that did the video, he's in there for domestic violence. And I'm thinking, like, well, that's a DV case, man. Like, what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get out in a minute. Like, you ain't gonna be in there forever. But them other cats, they all went in there for murder. Like, what I'm saying? Convicted. Like, you know, about to go to Angola, just didn't get there quite yet. So I got why they escaped. So when he broke down his case, he said like the girl basically falsified all that information, saying that that he pulled her, dragged her by her weave, and pulled her hair braids out her head and beat her all. And then he showed the affidavit from the DA saying that she retracted all the statements, saying she lied, and he never did that to me. And the DA signed off on it, but he's still in jail for that particular charge. And so this guy was telling me, he said, yeah, that girl that he was dating, and said like she always does that shit, call the police on dudes and stuff and all that. He said NOPD know her, and yeah, he said he didn't even he never did that shit to her. Everybody know that that's a lie. Now all the other stuff that he's did, whatever, like maybe he did do it, but that part he was telling the truth about, according to this cat that I ran to today. So it's buzzing around NOLA right now about that whole thing. What's up with it, Osama? Osama been smoking. What's up with it, boy? Yep. So y'all hear about on some gun talk? Did y'all hear about Staccato got added to the California gun list? Trump pardoned NBA young boy. Yeah, Trump always pardoned. He always pardoned a lot of cats. And unfortunately, I think he might pardon Derek Chauvin, the cat that killed George Floyd. So that might just ruffle some feathers with some people out there in Minnesota. So I don't know. But, yeah, but he's known to pardon some people. I think he pardoned Larry Hoover, Gangster Disciple founder from Chicago, Illinois. I'm from Chicago. I know who Larry Hoover is. Everybody said that the FBI framed Larry Hoover. He now again, did he do some things? Whatever. Yeah, he did some things, but how he got put in jail was on a RICO Act, and back then he wasn't I mean, I think Capone was the first Rico, but my point is that, like, there's been guys who did bad things or did things that was, criminal minded, so to speak. But if you can't catch them legally, that's what the system's supposed to be about. Then you just got to keep working until you can build evidence and catch them. And that's what Elliot Ness did to Al Capone. He knew he wasn't gonna never catch. Elliot Ness knew that he was never gonna catch Al Capone with a gun in his hand or selling liquor or doing whatever. So what did he do? He went into the financial end of it and got his ass on tax evasion. So if you really want to bring somebody down, you can bring them down, but you got to do your homework. But if the problem is when you got a bunch of corruption, so you got the good guys just as corrupt as the bad guys, and then I think in the eyes of justice, I think people don't look at it the same. I do. I think if there's a corrupt individual and you want to bring them down, as law enforcement, whatever it may be, use what's inside of your repertoire to bring them down. But the minute you cross over and be as corrupt as them, then the whole system is a wash. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, Chauvin still got to stir his time. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I like I said, I ain't gonna get into it. Larry, 75. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm from Gary. I knew some BGDs back in the day. Yep, in the 80s. Yep. What up, my G Noisy Boy 85? Yeah, man. What up, fam? But I just want to bring that up. So, like, yeah, Trump always has pardoned cats. I mean, who else did he pardon? Meek Mill. I think he pardoned Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing: Trump's dirty. I mean, he's a felon. He's a crook too. He's done some scandalous shit in his life, and that's what I'm saying. If you like, I'm from the South Side of Chicago, born and raised up there, and then I moved out to California. But I come from a family of people that did really good things and were positive church going people. I'm just gonna make this clear. Most of my siblings were not criminals. I'm the youngest of seven. Rest in peace to a couple of my brothers passed away and stuff like that. My sister's still going, but my sister was an angel. Most of my older brother in the Marine Corps was a solid stand-up guy. My brother, me and him grew up together 4 years apart. He was a stand-up guy, no drug. But then I had two brothers that did a couple things, and I had another brother. But my point is that I come from a good family, but I grew up around people that had some criminality into them. You know what I'm saying? That did some things, and a lot of it was based off drug usage and gang violence and stuff and shit on the South Side of Chicago. Matter of fact, since we talking about it, I can tell y'all a story right now about when I was about in what I think it was seventh grade, sixth grade, and I was going to McKinley Junior High. But then by the time I graduated from there, eighth grade, it was Rosa Parks Middle School. They changed it to Rosa Parks, so the South Side of Chicago took all the names and changed them all to Black historians: Gwendolyn Brooks, Percy Julian, Rosa Parks, and so they did all the names like that. But this cat that I used to roll with, his name was Rat, and I can speak on him because he ain't with us no more. But Rat, man, this dude was a straight like street dude. Like, and at the basketball practice, he would always be like he'll be at the candy store that we went to across the street from the school, and he'd be over there. And I lived I was living in Harvey at the time. Anybody know Dixmoor, Harvey? They know what I'm talking about. And I lived in Harvey, 145th, I believe, 149th page, I believe. I can't remember, but yeah, we're right down the street from Rosa Parks. I live right down the street, and so I would always see Rat, and he'd be always out there. So me and my homie that live by each other, and we'll get out of practice and head home. And Rat would come up and be like, "Oh, what's up, y'all? Man, nothing." He said, "Man, y'all want to watch? Y'all want to see something?" And we're like, "Yeah, no, we crazy anyway." So he would take us to like these places and stuff and see like a girl getting giving head or something like that, or doing something whatever, or a dude shooting up drugs in the alley. He said, "Look at this dope fiend." Like it was like he was crazy. He was fascinated by like seeing crazy shit, and he would take us to go see crazy shit. And I'm gonna fast forward this story, but 'cause I know y'all get impatient. But what's up with it, King Tech? Yeah. So basically, one day we were shooting hoop. So in Chicago, we got alleys, and we put hoop courts on the bicycle rims on the telephone poles, and that's just our little way of playing hoop right by the block without going to the park. And we was doing that one day, and we saw a rat coming up riding his bike down the street, down the alley. Like, we said, "What's up, man? I'm about to kill this motherfucker." We was like, "What? What you about to do?" He said, "I'm about to kill this motherfucker. I'm about to smoke this motherfucker." We said, "Come on, man. Come here, man. Come on, man. I need y'all to back me up." I'm like, "What? Back you up?" I'm like, we like, "What? What?" He said, "Come on, man. Go to my house." So we didn't think nothing of it. We said, "I'm gonna go home." We go to my house, and then so he lived right behind where I live. I have in one apartment complex, and he lived right back there. And then so we go back there. He jumped his bike. He get off and we stand in the backyard, like, but it's no fence. It's a backyard, but this fence was all raggedy. Rat lived like in a fucked up ass house, man. I don't even think he even had a dad or nothing. He had nobody. I think he had his mom. Yeah, his mom. So yeah, that's right. He didn't have his dad there, but his mom. But she used to date a lot of dudes. I think she was kind of like a street lady, whatever, you know. And Rat knew it, so he used to protect him because I remember he beat this one dude up, and he was only young. Beat this grown man up, whoa, 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 beat him up. So he's like, "Yeah, come on over here." So we in the back waiting, and we all of a sudden we hear pop pop. He said, "I shot that motherfucker, man." And then I'm like, "What?" He said, "Man, he was beating my mom up, something like that, man." So we just like, "Man, that's crazy, right?" And we just took off. Phew. And then fast forward, uh, like 3 or 4 days later, we find out that he got arrested, but he got released. And somehow he beat the case. Like, I guess the dude came at him with a knife, supposedly, the way the story went. And then he had the gun and shot him. But then the whole fact that he had a gun, and then I think his mom went to jail because he was a juvenile, and then she got out. It was crazy, man. He dysfunctional household, but that was just a day in life just growing up in the South Side of Chicago, and there's a lot of people like that. But my point is, some people don't really ask to be born in situations like that, and it's just all they know. And then you might be lucky enough to have a clean, disciplined household, but the other person may not, and but that doesn't make you not friends. But it's just a different lifestyle, and I just break that up just to say that you just got to really understand that when you are living in certain communities, there's people that are going to be doing different things, but you don't have the luxury to act like they don't exist. You see what I'm saying? So you might have to indirectly, like I lived in a uh, gangster disciple neighborhood, so they all wore blue, so we all indirectly wore blue. But the way you get around it is by wearing your school colors. So my school colors were purple and gold, like the Lakers, so to speak. So if you had purple and gold on walking through our neighborhood, they knew you went to Rosa Parks or McKinley. You see what I'm saying? And then, so like if you went to Thornton High School, that would have been the high school I'd have went to if I'd have moved to California. They wore purple and white. So if you was wearing purple and white with a T hat for Thornton, they know that you go to Thornton. But if you had anything other than that, you was gonna get side checked. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It was really crazy back then. Or act like if you were in those shoes and you wouldn't be the same way. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You really not. You really wouldn't, man. So it makes a big difference. So, and I think that's where Trump. I'm trying to tie this into why Trump does what he's done, and I know because Trump grew up in New York City, and he grew up grimy. I mean, this man lost. This man had $1 billion, lost it, and got it back, and then what? Say what you want about. I'm not a Trump fan. Just to make that clear. I'm just saying you can't knock the fact that this man came from pretty much a little wealth, blew it, got it back, but he elevated himself somehow to become a two-time president. Come on, man, that's kind of crazy, because the reason why he's a mastermind, in my personal opinion, of how to manipulate uh, people's inner feelings of how they feel about things, and that he knows how to push those buttons because he was always great at that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I remember when he was like the New Jersey General owners for the USFL, and he tried to buy his way into the NFL, and Pete Rozelle and Al Davis and all of them, they were like, hell no, the Schramm family, because the Schramm family used to own the Cowboys before they sold to Jerry Jones, and Al Davis swindled the Raiders out of a little old lady that used to own the Raiders and swindled them out of there. I think he swindled the Raiders out of there for like $1 million or something like that. I'm not lying, dude. Like it was peanuts. It was the same way Charlie Finley used to own the A's. I mean, these guys were like master crook business guys, man. Like, don't all these people, man. Like, so, and I remember Pete Rozelle said like never let Trump buy into the NFL, and then because he was intimidated by the power he had of talking to players and people, and that's why when he started USFL, I think Herschel Walker was the first really big time high profile player that made $1 million playing football because they called him the $8 million man because he signed with the New Jersey Generals for $8 million a year. And then all the rest of the college stars started following. Jim Kelly, they all went to the USFL. Anthony White, receiver out of Michigan, Reggie White, he went to the USFL. I mean, all the really big stars went to the USFL in that little short little period when Donald Trump was running the USFL, New Jersey Generals. So he's always had that ability to associate with different levels of people and different backgrounds and stuff like that. And he recognized criminality. You see what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people are intimidated by him in America, because American people grow up thinking that nobody breaks the law, so to speak. I don't know why, but that's the mindset of most people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a New Yorker, and that's all facts. Yeah, man. When you're a billionaire, all are in New York, things are dirty. So people get locked up on bullshit all day long. Yep. Steve Young, yeah, he played in the USFL too. Steve Young, I mean, all the major stars went because they were paying the big bucks. You know what I'm saying? And so the NFL recognized that, and immediately what they did, they jacked their salaries up. And see what I'm saying? Because NFL they put out legends that never made $1 million. A lot of people don't know it's the ugliest story in sports is how the NFL built that shield off the backs and knees of these men and didn't pay them shit. And so, but it really, I always say, I'll take it to my grave, and a lot of friends that grew up with me, I graduated high school in '87. They agree with me that if it wasn't for Donald Trump, the NFL never would have been paying those players with the money you see today, because he brought the TV revenue in, the marketing, and the contracts. And so then the NFL saw that template and they stole it. And they went like, okay, we need to get more TV games. And because they went head up with the NFL, and they weren't winning. Don't get me wrong, they didn't win rating wise, but they were winning with people watching that brand because it was just like the NFL. It wasn't like these other leagues they create, XFL, crazy ass shit, 7-on-7, like tiny ass. No, it was just a whole. It was just like the NFL, but the player level wasn't quite as high per team. But they had stars in there, and they were lighting motherfuckers up too. He's better than a dirty ass career politician. I'm damn sure voted for him 3 times. Hey man, vote for you. I didn't vote at all this election. I didn't think either one of them deserve my vote. Like I said, I've never been a hater, but I'm not also a follower. So I don't really support anybody just because somebody else supports somebody. That's it. I've never been that way, and I just said, nah. Yeah, I'm 56, man. I'm cool. I don't need to be voting no more because my kids are all done. My last kid down here going to school. Life's good. I don't need that headache and all that responsibility of thinking that this person's going to really care about me, my family, my job, how much my electric bill is, how much my auto insurance is. I mean, other than that, all I got to do is just be smart, just move through life with respect, and look out for people that look out for me, stay out the way, and just enjoy my life. So I don't need voting no more. And that's a lot of that. That's because America's a machine. So really, not to burst anybody bubble, I would definitely wouldn't be saying this to some kids. I would tell kids like exercise your political rights, vote. I focus more on the local stuff, like who's the fucking like this dirty ass like these sheriffs and all these uh attorney general and mayors and police chiefs. I be wanting to find out where these motherfuckers live and what they doing. Like let's get a little live looking where they hang out and who they rolling with. I'm more concerned about that. The clergymen at the local churches and stuff. What the fuck they doing on the side? These school superintendent, principals of schools, park director leaders and stuff. I want to find out where my literal tax dollars going locally, and keep an eye on all these people who are running shit around here versus worrying about what's going on in DC. I ain't got no time for that shit. Yep. Man, but man, let me tell you something real quick though. Man, I'm gonna switch on to home invasion real quick because I gotta touch upon what's going on. Now, there's a lot going on on by the southern border right now. Now, people who live up north in Philly on the East Coast, y'all up there in the borough area, if y'all this may not, it could be affecting you, but on the southern border from San Diego all the way down to Florida, man, these because Trump going full blast on these ICE raids. I'm laughing, but I ain't laughing, but I am laughing because this is where they hitting at. They hitting. My voice sent me a video today. They hitting hella Home Depots. You know what I'm saying? They hitting hella Home Depots, man. So I just hope if you're illegal and you here and you trying to like do the right thing, and man, get away from the Home Depot because they targeting the Home Depots. Rounded up about 100 cats at Home Depots today in California. That's crazy, man. Because I know. I ain't gonna lie. That is where a lot of them be at, and they ain't all the same. Some of them be African cats, Haitian dudes. They be cats from Central America. It be cats from Mexico. It be cats from China. I mean, and that's another thing. Don't let these Chinese motherfuckers fool you. A lot of them motherfuckers be here on expired visas. Ain't supposed to be here. They illegal as fuck too. But for some reason, again, the average air breathing American citizen, when they think illegal immigrant, they just think Spanish all the way. They think Mexican, South American. That's it. They don't be thinking as much as they should. European, Eastern Bloc, Albanian, Ukrainian, all these motherfuckers that are ruthless, cutthroat motherfuckers tied to real criminal syndicates, and they just don't even, just because they skin is a little lighter and their hair is straighter, they think like, oh, well, I don't know. But if they see a Mexican dude or they see a dark skinned African cat from like Haiti or somewhere, they think immediately like that's illegal and that's a problem. And it could be rightfully so a problem. But the part I think is kind of ludicrous is to think that that's the only face of the illegal immigrant, because that is not the only face. A lot of these immigrants that are here illegal to do some damage, they're coming from the Eastern Bloc. They're coming from China. They're not coming from some banana farm in fucking Dominica or some, Haiti. They might come over here and commit a crime, but they are not the biggest threat. Not the biggest threat. So we need to really refocus like what we looking at. But I love the fact that he started at the Home Depots because I noticed that myself. I came front when I was in San Diego. I ain't been to Home Depot. Well, let's see Home Depot here in Louisiana. Yeah, they saw me here because they from, but down here in New Orleans, if you go when you see illegals, they're coming from Honduras, Venezuela. They're coming from places like that. They're not coming from Mexico and you see a lot of Haitians. So you see a lot of that. So that's what you see there. That's media propaganda, though. But yeah, it's media propaganda in the sense that they got the cameras out there busting people by Home Depots. Hell yeah, it is media propaganda for sure. But it's real time though. It's not like the people they are busting are not actually in the country. They are here legally. They are illegal. So yeah, you're right. It is because those aren't the biggest threats. To be honest with you, the cats in front of the Home Depots, it's these cats who are smuggling in all these firearms or running firearms, or or sitting on a stockpile of firearms and waiting for the call to say activate. That's really the problem right there. Real talk though. So what we got here running these restaurants. Yeah, yeah, they run these restaurants. That's media, but it's definitely gonna get worse though, because where we at right now? June 6th? Please, you headlines. And if you notice, and here's the crazy part about it. This is what I noticed versus when I was younger. When somebody proved something, that was it. Now it seems like with a truck ton full of evidence, there's still a entity of large entity of people that will sit there and deny it. I'm like, wait, no, did you just see that? No, man, I don't know. But you just never can tell. No, you mean you cannot tell. I just saw it. That's the part that makes me not have conversations with people because I'm like, am I hearing this right? He's trying to say that it's not raining outside, but there's rain dropping, but it ain't gonna last. But it's raining. So when nobody said how long it was gonna last, it's raining. So it's like they switched the subject line, they moved the needle like at their convenience. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. It was a gun store here in Georgia that was recently busted selling guns to aliens. Hell yeah. I wonder what the actual number is, how many have entered and where they are. They said they brought a dude from Maryland back from the. Man, let me tell you right now, I'm 57. I can be honest and tell you, man, it's been legal people in this country for easy 40 years, 35 coming in this motherfucker. Man, I remember back when espionage was espionage, when cats would have fake beards and do all kind of stuff, put fake glasses on, go to school all every day. It's kind of like the dudes who did the 9/11, how they was going to the airplane school, going to the taking the classes at the airport and all that. Straight sleeper cells, like got their Starbucks, got their little Yorkie walking down the street, playing frisbee at the park, just waiting for that little ding ding ding. Man, fuck that Yorkie. They got to go get busy. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, that's really been we've been open. Our border's been open for quite a while. It's just that now I would say that the country allowed it, we were actually blocking it before now, because I grew up when it was actual communism, when there was a wall. I remember when the wall came down, when Ronald Reagan, Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So, but for the most part, these are the replacement people for the foundational Americans that were actually literally born here, raised here. This is the replacement population. Placement repopulation. That's the word of the day. Uh, that's the word of the day. Replacement population. Somebody has to pick up the tab for the billionaires, the tycoons, the people that make all the power moves on Wall Street, because their kids are not going to work at the bottom. They're not going to work at the bottom, and the people that are foundationally American that been seeing these sucky ass wages. Man, I live in Louisiana, man. I got another ramble. Speaking of wages, do you know minimum wages in the state of Louisiana? I don't even really know what it is, but I believe it's 7 fucking 25 cents an hour. $7.25 an hour. Now I know in California it varies what your job is and where you live in the state. But the overall minimum wage in the state of California, I believe, is around 14.50 or something like that. But you can get a job in California at In-N-Out Burgers for $20 an hour. Just walk in there and get hired at $20 an hour. Now somebody gonna say, "Oh yeah, but the cost of living is high. Gas is $6 a gallon." Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Get two jobs then. Then you got two $16 an hour jobs. You work 8 hours on this one. You work four on that one. You work 12-hour days. Stop being scared. Roll your sleeves up. But my point is, how are you gonna have a state like Louisiana and your minimum wage is 7.25 an hour? And then I heard in the restaurant industry, y'all ready for this one? Don't choke. The waiters make $2.13 per hour. Now, if somebody from New Orleans back me up on this. I'm not making this shit up. They don't pay nobody nothing. Hence why those cats got out of that fucking jail. You know what those people, those employees in those jails make? Anybody ready for this one? Under $15 an hour. Some are under. The high end ones are at 17. Man, that is absolutely ridiculous, bro. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Cali's like 20. Yeah, in certain places like Santa Cruz, if you're a waiter, I think minimum wage is $20, $19. San Francisco, I think it's close to 19, 17 some places. But definitely in the restaurant industry, it's higher in the state of California. And all the fast food joints are easy $16 to $20 an hour. Matter of fact, when you go in California, if you ever go through there, anybody go through there, go by like a Arby's or a Wendy's or a McDonald's, they can't even hire nobody. They got signs in the window saying hiring $20 an hour, apply now, and then they still ain't hiring. So that just still shows you that this new Gen X, they don't want to work. Motherfuckers don't want to work. But I ain't gonna knock all that. Let's stay in the South. The South don't pay nobody nothing. I only been here since October. I've been peeping it out, going like, damn. I'm hearing stories, man. I can't say nothing because I come from Cali. So a lot of times I'm in conversation. I don't want to like be like, oh man, well we had it like this. I don't want to do that. We had it like that because I ain't there no more. So I try to humble myself and be like, oh man, damn. Yeah, and my son, he just got hired at the Ruby Slipper on Decatur, and I'm so proud of him. I said, "Oh, that's cool. What are you doing?" So they started him out as a waiter. He's never worked in the restaurant business, but they're gonna train him because they liked him so much. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. Where'd he go?" I was saying, "So yeah, so now he's making some good money." He goes, "Yeah, he get the tips." And I said, "How much do they get per hour?" She said, "Oh, 213 an hour." I said, 213 an hour, man. Man, that's crazy, bro. They still in Louisiana's still into free labor, man. I just call it what it is. They still into free labor. Unless you work for one of these energy companies down here, or Marathon Oil or Gas or Exxon or what's the other one, Shell. Unless you really roll your sleeves up, or you work in the fishing industry, or you're in the military, quite possibly, or private sector of security, you can get your wages up a little higher. But if you're not in like tech or corporate, man, don't come to the South. It's broke down here. Kansas, the jail starts at 23. COs make 26. Man, let me tell you right now, in California, Oakland Police Department, they start the motherfuckers off like around 80,000 a year. There's certain departments in California give you 100 grand signing bonus, 5 G's on top, plus 90 grand. You know what I'm saying? Because it's wild, man. It's wild. It's so broke down here. I don't even know what cops even make in New Orleans, but they must not make nothing because they stay in the newspaper with corrupt ass shit, not doing shit the right way. And then when I go through the quarter or go through the West Bank, I don't see no police at all. They just respond to whatever criminal thing that's happened. Other than that, they chilling somewhere probably. They don't work hard at all. I wish somebody would offer me 725 to work. I'll flip that desk over. LOL. Hey, sidewalk. Yeah, man, 725. I just think that's a crime shame. But here's the thing though. When you cruise around minimum wage job circuit, the people that are actually employed, they're not even citizens. A lot of these people, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is the biggest racket in America. San Diego does it too. Oh hell no! Don't let them motherfuckers off the hook. I worked at a hotel resort. Did high end security at one of the top hotel resorts in Mission Bay in San Diego. I ain't no cap. And man, one of the OGs that I worked with, man, he was like, man, man, hey Brown, these motherfuckers ain't even citizens. I said, what? He said, hell no, them motherfuckers come from Tijuana every day. They live in Mexico. They don't know English. They ain't got no driver's license. I said, how they get paid? They said that this one motherfucker that does the come in here and do some shit, and then they write them motherfuckers a check, a cashier's check or some shit like that. Ain't no payroll, man. And a lot of these corporations knows it, man. They know what they doing, man. They into this free labor because what I'm hearing, I never worked for minimum wage. And only time I did that when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. And I think with minimum wage, when I was a kid growing up, because my first job was in California when I was in the eighth grade. I worked for the park department. I was an umpire. I did umpire little league games. And let me see what the minimum wage was. That was like 1983, 84. It was 3.35 an hour. That was minimum wage in the state of California in 1984. So yeah, that was minimum wage. So I remember when it was low. Oh yeah, it was low, but that was 1984. Man, it's 2025. 7.25 an hour. Man, come on, man. That's ridiculous. What is it? Carolina 7.25 an hour since 2009. That's what is it? It's 14.70 here. Oh, do something different. Where are you from? Cali? What it do? Tactical coffee. But yeah, man, we're talking about this minimum wage, and so because man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. My brother JB, rest in peace, man. He was a great guy, super smart, straight businessman. He said something to me a long time ago. I think around what was it? Oh, I know what it was. He took me to the Cool Jazz Festival. It was in Russian River, in the Bay Area, Santa Rosa, Russian River. Anybody up there, they know what I'm talking about. It was a Cool Jazz Fest. Took me up there. I was young. I was like what, ninth grade, man. He smoked weed. Man, I was high as fuck, man. I was like, ooh, man. And then he was telling me, man, I remember like the next day he told me, he said, man, he said, the only reason why, little brother, you see crime and you see bad people and you see struggle, he said, because he said when people can't eat and they can't feed themselves and they don't have an affordable wage, they don't have a job, nothing to look forward to, get up in the morning to make themselves better financially. We're talking about finance. We ain't talking about spiritually, because God's always good, but you know what? Sometimes God ain't there when they put that eviction note on your door. That eviction notice has to be done by dollars. So yeah, you definitely want to put your trust in the Lord, and you want to give gracious to God, give the grace to God. But let me tell you right now, if you ain't got them greenbacks, man, you getting kicked out. So he always told me, he said, if you want to fix crime overnight, give people affordable wages so they can feed themselves, and then you won't see a lot of criminal behavior. But when a person knows that they got to go punch a clock and they still ain't gonna meet, those ends ain't gonna meet. That's why it's called ends meet. If it ain't gonna meet, they gonna go make those ends meet. Ain't nobody letting their kids and their wives and they dogs and stuff starve. It's just not happening. It's just some people have never experienced it. So unless you experienced it, unless you've been hungry and had no heat in the dead of winter, or had no AC and you live in Arizona because your family poor and you got two little circular fans and your little brother at the kitchen table trying to study. Can you imagine trying to study in those conditions when you're a young kid and you hungry and all you had was two McDonald's cheeseburgers and a fry? It's not healthy, man. And that creates a lot of animosity. And that's why, where we as a country, we're kind of eating ourselves alive, literally, and the world is watching. And so that's it starts with wages, man. That's why I brought that up, man. I just wanted to bring that up. You know what I'm saying? Well, my first summer job wasn't even in hometown, it was in Indy, and it was in 1985 in Dallas. 10 tigers in a cage and one piece of meat. Yep. There you go, man. There you go. My summer job was 380 Antoine Foster. getting paid them dollars exchanges for the product. And what's crazy, what I noticed down here in Louisiana, they work you hard. Like this cat was telling me at the restaurant he worked at, they work 8-hour shifts. In California, you don't work 8-hour shifts. You work 4.5 for lunch or 5.5 for dinner, max, because they don't want you to be on the clock that long because they dropping 14.50 per hour and you making tips. See what I'm saying? But what they do is they use these motherfuckers for labor. They had them motherfuckers cutting grass, not cutting grass, but you know what I'm saying, like scrubbing shit, doing all kind of weird ass like side work. And he said like just weird ass shit, like and then like if you work lunch, he was saying that you have to set up the big parties for the dinner. Oh, because they pay you 213 an hour, so they just make you work, they do things, do weird ass shit in the restaurant. I was like, oh yeah, so they still still into free labor down here, and yeah, man, it's really poor, man. That's one thing I noticed about Louisiana. It's pretty poor because we know I just came out for tour. My kid just finished her freshman year at Xavier, and we went and watched all her games. We went to all 46 games, and a lot of them was in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, east side of Texas, like Tyler and all that kind of stuff. And man, the one thing I noticed when we went up north to Louisiana, where I used to live when I was a kid, Monroe, man, it's poor as fuck, man. Shreveport, man, that town looks fucked up. Alexandria, Louisiana. Anybody from Alexandria? And no offense, man. I'm just saying, it is poor as fuck up there, man. I mean, we drove down on a street trying to find this fried chicken place or whatever. Ooh, I thought I went back in a time warp, man. These houses are all. I mean, I never seen a block where you house, abandoned house, house half burnt down, no occupants, just closed off, house. I was just like, this is unbelievable. People live like this, and it's like, I'm not saying I'm pompous or I'm not putting the people down who live there. I'm just saying that this is Louisiana. I'm just like, this is crazy. And I saw some crazy shit in Mississippi too. It was crazy. It was crazy. See, they'd raise the pay here, yeah, but anyone gets full-time hours. Man, I was gonna talk about something real quick. Man, I saw a thing on what did I see? Oh, I saw a thing on somebody put a thing about Yoki Stirrup. Man, maybe somebody y'all know who Yoki Stirrup is. She's a big time gun tuber. I remember she was like just doing hunt and catch stuff and out there wrestling alligators, all kind of shit. She's a badass woman. I got a lot of respect for her. Clearly she's her husband or boyfriend is there, the camera guy and all that kind of stuff. But somebody said that she did a Q&A thing the other day, and some people went inside of her comment box and was going in on her. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because obviously I do content creating and stuff like. I don't really care about what people say. So I mean, most people know I'll leave that shit up there. Say what you want. You just help my algorithm. But and you shouldn't really be doing content creating if you're sensitive. Let's start right there. But I thought it was interesting that somebody said, what did the guy say? Because like, man, they just hating on her because she's beautiful. Oh no, he said like, oh, they just mad. I guess it's some lady or something said something. It's something about woo, woo, woo. And then dude was like, oh, you just mad because your husband watches Yoki Stirrup, so that means that you ain't doing something right. So maybe you should handle your own business. I thought that was a really interesting. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I think that was kind of a good way of kind of addressing the issue of a troll, so to speak. Man, look, listen, man, look, Yogi's beautiful. She got a lot of guns. The woman knows how to cook, do all kind of shit. She know how to wrestle wildlife. She's real. She's 100%. And yeah, it's some of the stuff like sexy and stuff draw in men viewers and help the algorithm and help her. Yeah, absolutely it does. But to to think that she ain't talented or ain't got skills, I think it's kind of ridiculous. And that's why and this is where I'm at. And this is what I'm saying. This is one of the biggest problems with American society is that people will come in and say something and don't have no idea what the fuck they talking about, and then tell you that you're doing something wrong. And then when you check what they doing, they're not doing anything close to what you're doing, but they will get an audience. And that's why I was saying like people got to be careful of an audience. Don't buy into everybody rooting for you. Like sometimes they trying to push you out there just to see you get your head chopped off and then video it. You see what I'm saying? So don't buy into that, man. I just want to bring that up real quick. Yoki, that deal love her. Uh, yeah, Yoki, that deal love her and Summer Shoots. Yeah, Summer Shoots is cool too. Shit, go to Detroit. That shit got one house, one block. Damn, Bump Johnson for real. I heard the D is rough too. I heard the D is rough too. I had went through Houston too. Boy, that ain't no joke either. Houston ain't no joke. Mm-mm. But boy, I tell you though, man, if you guys ever get into like doing loadouts, I did a video on loadout, right? Like ammo, how much you gonna bring and all that kind of stuff. Let me talk about that real quick, man, because let me tell you right now, when I drove from San Diego and came out to New Orleans and brought all my stuff, man, I was overwhelmed, man, because remember I had to stop. We didn't drive straight through because I don't we don't drive like that. I get a night, get a hotel, drive a little bit, get a hotel. Man, I had to unload because I ain't leaving my shit in no car, so I had to unload all that shit and put it in the hotel every night that we stopped, and then take it out and reload it back in. Man, let me tell you, bro. And I had got rid of some ammo and stuff because I didn't want to haul all that shit across there. And I didn't want to put it in the moving truck because most of our stuff we got professionally moved. But I didn't want to have nothing gun related. Well, you can't anyway. When you professionally move furniture, your house, they tell you you can't have any firearms like that, stuff like that. There's some companies that will do it, but you have to do it a certain process. But you got some cats that's you don't want people to know you got guns in there. So basically, I opted out of that, and so I took everything with me. But I didn't realize the ammo, man, how I knew it was heavy, but I didn't realize like I had so much of it. I was like, man, 6,000 rounds. This is 7,000 rounds. I was like, golly, that's what I brought. I got rid of a couple thousand there because right, I got lucky. So let me show you how your boy came up. So right before I moved, California exercised a 10% ammo tax. Right before I moved, it happened like July 4th, and I moved like the end of July, I think, or something like that. No, 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 no. Wait a minute. No, I moved like in October, but they put the exercise tax kicked in July. So when I was moving, when I figured out I was moving, I said, I went into like the gun stores and found out what the prices of ammo was. I was like, oh, so I talked to all my homies I work with. I knew we got guns, and they was like, what's up, bro? I was like, man, I got some ammo y'all want to buy, and I'll knock off the 10% tax for sure. I said, I won't charge you no tax. I just charge you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So they were like, oh man, for real. I was like, so I got a lot of it off like at good prices. Like I was getting Blazer 9 millimeter 115 grain. I was letting that shit go for like what was it, like $15 a box? I was like, hey, I'll take 15, you know what I'm saying? So it was that's how I got a lot of it off. So that was a good move because in California they put a 10% tax on all firearm sales and ammo sales. It's crazy, man. What's up with it, Carl Singles? What's up, bro? $2. What's up with it? Boondock Ballistic. She makes gun content with zero thirst traps, right? Yeah, it's crazy because they favored singer and actor mostly dressed the same or worse. Man, I would watch just to see the butt, but then her gun knowledge came on to the top. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Yoki and Deal Love in her summer shoots. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Yoki can shoot, and she's pretty. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she uses. Man, look, she uses her sexuality for her channel. Of course she does. But if you actually watch her, and I've been watching her for a long time, she started off literally doing hunting stuff, and then she would hunt, catch some animal, or whatever, kill it, clean it all up, and then cook it right there in the back of her tailgate. She didn't start doing like studio gun reviews like that. That was like later on. She would just like be out in the woods somewhere. Like so, yeah, man, she's a little bit legit deal. But man, people always gonna hate, man. That's just one thing we gotta understand. People always gonna hate. But man, that's crazy. What's up, oh my Malik Avant? What's going with it, bro? Yeah, man. Over here talking about loadouts. But yeah, man, if you have to load out, man, I think that's gotta be a good topic to talk about for a few weeks, man. Like what is your approach on that? Bro, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, just think about plate carrier, chest rig, first aid stuff, ammo, guns, barrels, parts, uh, holsters, and bags to carry the guns in. And what kind of are you gonna have? Pelican cases? Or are you gonna just have like? I mean, man, dude, it's overwhelming, man. That's why, unfortunately, I think, man, I'm about to downsize my collection, man. If my son come back when he come back from Korea, I'm gonna say, hey man, you can take like a lot of this. I'm trying to get down to like 5 guns, man. I know it sounds crazy. Five, maybe seven. The number already went up. So maybe somewhere around 7 or 8, but like 3 or 4 pistols, and then like a couple long guns, and then, bolt action and shotgun. But I ain't trying to, man. Yeah, like under 10, man. I need to get. It's just too much, man. And it's like I don't want to have all that. Just leave it. And a lot of my kids don't even like guns, so my son he came back from Korea. I'm just gonna say, man, you can have anything you want, all this shit you can have. Just leave me about 3 or 4 Glocks, and then my AR 11.5 inch, 300 blackout, KSG, Maverick 88. Yeah, maybe just I'm gonna try to get down to 8, man, because I don't know, man. This is just overwhelming for me, man. Yeah, I'm looking to buy a plate carrier. What would you recommend? Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There's some guys probably in the comment box that can do better with that. But I just off the top, you got to ask yourself, what are you gonna use it for? First off, are you just gonna have it for let me get that Z Pap in the back, fam. No, I'm cool with the chopper season. No, you ain't get that. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping the chopper. No, I'm keeping the chopper. I'm keeping that. Okay, let me get that 19X. No, $2. No, no, bro. Y'all trying to take my best gun. No, man. Y'all gotta have some other shit. But I ain't like I said that 7.5 inch AR. Ain't man. About to get rid of some shit, man. I got my 16 inch, but man, I don't know what to do, man. It's just too much, man. Five, six, seven, eight. Final number to be announced later. Yeah, man. I downsized to just 10 guns earlier this year. Made sure I had all my bases covered and chose one gun for each category. Yeah, man. I mean, gun and dogs. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. But the problem is, like, when you buy these guns, they are kind of like kids. You don't want to get rid of them motherfuckers. It's like that's why I'm waiting for my son to get back. I feel better. Like, man, you take them, then I feel like they got a home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a good place to go. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I definitely ain't take them to the gun shop and sell them. That ain't happening. Because them motherfuckers take. Don't even get me started on how they do you. I will say this: firearms is the worst depreciating thing you can buy in life outside of an automobile. Meaning, like, let me make that clear. So, like, say you go buy a brand new 2025, no miles on it. Once you drive that motherfucker off the lot, it ain't worth the price you paid no more. Guns is even worse. You can go buy fuck it, you can go buy a Glock 19X MOS, threaded barrel, all that shit. Pay 700. Let's say 700. Okay, walk into a gun shop and try to sell it. Man, you'll be lucky to get 350. Lucky, lucky. I mean, it's scandalous how they do you on the sell back. Yeah, they be getting over, Mike. Them motherfuckers be getting over on the guns, and that's why you need to think about it before you buy. Don't even have a mindset thinking that, oh, I'll just sell it and I'll get some of my money. No, you ain't. You will get lucky, you get half your money back. And that's why I say the Glock Gen 3s. I ain't trying to brag, but I'm just that's the way to go really if you're gonna buy a gun right now, 2025. Jump in those Gen 3s Glocks because they're really cheap. And let's say you had to get rid of one of them and let's say you bought a Glock 19 Gen 3 right now, right? You can grab one for like 400, right? 450. Would y'all agree? Anybody want to chime in? You can get a Glock Gen 3 19, a Glock 19 Gen 3 450, right? So I know I can find one 450 easy. And let's say, like, 2 years from now, you want to upgrade to the Gen 5 MOS. Well, you can go to a gun shop and sell that Glock Gen 3, and I promise you, you're getting 300. You're getting 300. So you don't lose that much on the Gen 3s on the sell back to upgrade to another model. You feel what I'm saying? But if you went and bought like a what is it like, say, a Canon MC9 right now, and then you try to roll up in there and sell that motherfucker and get, man, they don't take you under the river, man. It's crazy how they do you. Oh, even police trade-ins. But see, the only thing about the police trade-ins, they don't be as in great condition as if a private owner had it because they holster in it a lot. They might drop that motherfucker. Round count is irrelevant, really, but it's just the fact that it looks a little more beat up. Most of not all of them. Some police trade-ins look clean as fuck. Like who got one recently? Was it Dress to Kill? He got that Glock 23. That thing looked like it was never even used. No marks on it. But I know in Cali, I saw a couple of police trade-ins. Yeah, they get rid of them like they use them a lot because see the cops in California, how they make their money, they sell the Gen 5 models because they're the only ones that can buy them, and they sell them they do a private sale and charge a grip for them. Like like for example, Glock Gen 5 MOS is not in California. I don't think it's on the roster, and if you bought it from a cop right now, they'll probably try to charge you 1,200. Hell no, I wouldn't downsize my firearms if I lived in California. It's a longer process, but I never really got that though. Uh, come on, since I just basically went to my gun shop, wait 10 days, get it, and that's it. I never bought that whole. I never saw all that like frustration of buying a firearm in California. Everybody been following my channel for a while. Man, my arsenal's built in California. Only guns that I got is these recent models right here, like this. you know, the Gen 5 models, and but you can get the Stavas in California. You just can't get it in the pistol variant. You just got to get the full stock. So you can get any long gun that's sold in the rest of the country can be bought in California. Period. Point blank. All long guns, anything 16 inches or longer is on. It can be bought in California. The only thing that happens is short barrels. That's where it's a difference, and different models of pistols. But there's not really a shortage of availability of firearms in California. You just might not get everything. But again, with long guns, 16 inch or longer, everything, scars, Tavors. I mean, you can get anything. There's no stoppage on that. What Glock 40 you about to get is in the 22? Man, oh man, Malik, I ain't about to tell you what I'm gonna get. Yeah, trying to mess up my algorithm. No, man, keep the suspense. No, no, but you gonna like it though, Malik. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. I can tell you right now, I ain't gonna tell you. No, I can't tell you nothing because you too smart. I ain't telling you nothing. No, man, Malik, you trying to set me up, bro? No, uh-uh. Illinois has recently started the process to try and ban Glocks. Good luck with that shit. To have the people in Illinois got Glock. So now let's talk about that for a minute. Does everyone need to know this? First of all, when you hear all this ban in Illinois, they talking about Cook County. Bro, they are not talking about the rest of the state of Illinois. That's my birth state. I know. I My brother in was eighth grade year, they made it to the championship, went down to Carbondale, Illinois. They've been to Champaign. That's where the state championships at. Man, let me tell you, that drive from Chicago, you must well think you was in the middle of nowhere, dude. If anybody's in this feed ever driven through the state of Illinois, please tell these people that most of the state of Illinois is rural. Once you get out of Cook County, Chicago, man, it ain't nothing but fucking farm towns, nothing little small pokey dokey towns. You might get a bigger town every now and then, Evansville. You might hit this little town over here, Peoria, and that's the hood too. You might hit this little town here. You got Champaign, Carbondale. You got where the university's at, Southern Illinois University. But man, please, man, that all those little gun restriction things is based off Chicago, Cook County. That's it. Rest of the state is fucking red as fuck, gun free. Well, yeah, what's up, Malik? Yeah, no, they don't. Illinois don't really enforce any gun laws. They only enforce them in Cook County. Now, I do know in Cook County you can't have a beam. That's for sure. I got one on this right here. Boy, I almost touched that thing. They ain't gonna monetize if I touch anything. Yep. Only Cook County crooked. Yep, for sure. They want that in Cali too. Yeah, Cali's the same way. Man, most cops, and when I live in San Diego, the motherfuckers are all pro 2A. They don't, man, once you get outside, when you get into like San Bernardino County, you get out like East County in San Diego, once you get off the beaches like Los Angeles and get out of like downtown San Diego, get out of San Francisco, get out of Oakland, man, man, you go up north, the northern part of California, like above Sacramento, Auburn, and closer to the Oregon border, please, man, the people are all pro gun. Yep, you think you was in the country of down south if you were not only in the city. Yeah, you would think you was really in Louisiana if you was in out of Chicago and Illinois. I think people have no idea because when most people, I think when they go to Chicago, they fly in. Most people don't just drive in like from the bottom of Illinois to Chicago. They probably come in like this or like this, but they don't just like go straight through the whole state up. Only people from Louisiana do that because that was the African American passage. They went straight up. But nobody actually have driven through the Midwest. It ain't nothing pretty. It's one of the most boring, desolate, nothing to look at drives in the history of driving, other than driving I-5 in California. As someone living in Southern Illinois, you are right. It feel like Kentucky down there. Yep, unfortunately, all the gun stores down here are scared and follow some of the laws like the gun. Yeah, but they all. What's crazy? What I find is crazy. People in Illinois, not Chicago, Southern Illinois, all around Illinois, they all afraid of Chicago. And with the towns they live in, guess how many black people live there? What are you afraid of? You need to worry about all these fucking meth heads over here that about to blow that barn up over there. They about to cook up a big ass batch. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how these people like are all afraid of what's going on in Inglewood, Cali. That's a block in Cali. In Chicago. They worry about what's going on around there, what's going on the south side, west side, Chicago, east side. They all nervous and frantic, but they live way down here, like in Illinois, and no black people at all. But they're afraid. But when they have criminal behavior, The people who's doing it looks just like them. Make that shit make sense. This is mind-boggling to me. Met a pilot that lives in Illinois that is armed on the plane. He told me he can step outside in his drawers and shoot on his property. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it because that's Illinois. It's all country. It's all country farmland, and people got cows, cheese factories, goats, small ass like schools. Man, you ever see the movie Hoosiers? That's how Illinois looks outside of Cook County. Man, let me show y'all something that I've discovered. These mugs right here are good. Y'all see that? These peanuts is good, man. I was fucking these up the other night. I didn't, because they were like what 79 cents at the store. I thought like, man, how good is these little spicy deal? But I was wondering, like in the store, why they had a big ass bin of them, and I was just like, they must be good if they got that big ass bin, because if they weren't selling them, they wouldn't be there. So I said my dumb ass bought like one bag, and then I came home after working. Ate that one. I said, "Damn, I should have got more." So when I got off work today, I went and bought a couple more bags. But yeah, man, it's crazy though, man. But like, look, man, I'm just gonna tell y'all like this. One more thing I was gonna touch upon was let me see, I had a couple things. Oh yeah, your boy, I called it the NBA Finals. I called it. I told somebody works in my. Oh yeah, OKC in five. I said, what? They play at 5 o'clock? Well, he said, no, they're gonna win at five. I said, you gonna lost your mind. I got the Pacers in six, and I keep telling everybody, man, they got guys that are built for it right now. Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton, that boy is a beast. See, Pascal Siakam, that boy he won one with Toronto, right? With Kawhi Leonard and them. He was up there with Kyle Lowry and them. He got experience. The other boy, Miles Turner, is a beast. Nimhart, they guards. I'm not. Oh, I like Shea Gildas. Don't get me wrong. He is the MVP. Shea Gildas is nice. They nice. They nice. But there's no way they were going to just blow out Indiana. Man, y'all tripping. And then the coaching. I like the coaching a little better in Indiana. More experience. So no, man, it's not like people. It's not like I'm hating on OKC and Shea Gildas because I like that boy because remember the Clippers drafted him. I think Doc Rivers drafted Shea Gildas. But the stupid ass GM at the time, who was it? Who was the GM? He traded him because he wanted Chris Paul. How did that shit work out for you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. That, everybody know SGA was a baller. Just going 7 games. I can see that. I can see that, Malik. Yep, they're sleeping on OB Toppin. Yeah, OB Toppin. Yeah, both the Toppin boys was baller. Yeah. What up with it, Justin Worst? My man Justin Worst definitely goes to subscribe this channel. That boy be having some good content. Recently had a situation where my neighbor who was a cop at the time tried to break in my house. Damn, can't trust nobody down here. Hell no. He said the motherfucker was a cop and trying to break. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all better stop like teaching y'all kids to just, oh yeah, that's Mr. Friendly. He's the officer here. That motherfucker might be as corrupt as fuck. And you need to keep your eyes on your children and make sure you understand, like, don't trust nobody really at this point, man. Because anybody in leadership, they all fucking corrupt. Maybe not all of them, but don't be surprised. Don't be like, I can't believe the mayor was running a cocaine ring. Believe it. You know what I'm saying? Man, you put me up on some chips in a green bag I ordered. They kind of like Cheetos. Oh, for real? Oh, you mean the Elmers? ZZ, yeah, man. Man, what I'm just saying, man, what do y'all think about the mere fact that every other week we're hearing about some crazy sleeper cell getting busted with hella guns. I just heard the other day they caught a cat that was buying guns sh- and driving across to the Mexican border. What is Mexico doing, man? I think Mexico. See, I live in San Diego. We already knew this. Mexico ain't our friend. A lot of people don't understand that, bro. They're not our friend, bro. And the problem is that we got people on this side of the border that are in collusion with them. And that's why they can flex so much. That's why they can really kind of like just kind of punk America because they got Americans working with them, and nobody wants to see that. They got border agents on payroll. They got Texas Rangers on payroll. They got DEA on payroll. They got task force, ICE agents. I mean, the southern border is a mess, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I remember Trump's first election. He tried to come down to San Ysidro, stand in front of a wall and all that shit. Man, once Biden got in, they didn't put a board up or nothing. It's crazy. Carriageway, yeah, yep, rest of Illinois. Yeah, yeah, bro. I think it's I need to order it now. But yeah, man, I just don't understand why people don't understand. Like as we've been sold out, man. We've been completely sold out. Me and my wife and I are watching the softball game because Texas Tech, playing Texas in the College World Series softball. Man, I'm telling you, that girl Najiri Kennedy, man, she got that $1 million NIL deal. That changed the game right there. But oh, citizen to a citizen. What's up with if they paid the agents living wage? Maybe there will be fewer. Yeah, true, citizen. But but citizen. This is what I say though. When you jump into law enforcement and all that kind of employment, I think you go into it. You have to go into it with some kind of fascination of wanting to kind of, they say, I want, they like, what was it one? Training Day with Denzel when he had Ethan Hawke when he said, I'll have you get out of my squad. You ain't ready for this. I'm gonna send you go back to Beverly Hills and write some parking tickets or something like that. You ain't ready for this. Get out of my car. And he made him hit the wheel. He said, No, I'll hit it. I'll hit it. I'll hit it. And that scene always resonated with me. I don't know if y'all know I'm talking about in Training Day where they sitting there and they bust the little Mexican kids or whatever, and then he's like, man, hit this. He said, hit that, get some of this in. You said, no. He said, what? Smoke weed, man? I'm not gonna do that. He goes like, what? No, you hit it. I said, man, you ain't ready for this. Get out of my car. You ain't ready. He goes, no, no, I'll hit it. I'll hit it. And so what I'm getting at is a lot of these cats they go into it because they thinking like they want the action, but they don't realize that they actually are about to go into the lion's den. They don't realize that what they asking for is not what they really want. And Ethan Hawke didn't understand that. And so when he hit that weed, he he's done. You know what I'm saying? Then once he found he got played by the end of the night, you know what I'm saying? Then he got mad at Lonzo. So it's a different thing, you know what I'm saying? So like you really can't use salary in law enforcement in the same breath because you signed up for this, so you should do it the right way. But when they get into it, then they want that rush, and then I think that's what that rush come in. That's when all the corruption come in, and then that's where all the silence come in too, because the cops that don't take the pay or take the dirty hookup, they kind of like they got to be quiet because they know they might get their head chopped off. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that always resonated with me. That scene in Training Day. What up with it, Justin? She Fires stopping by the state, say hello. All right, how you doing, She Fires? Okay, nice seeing you. Was Training Day about the corruption in the LAPD Rampart Division? Yep, that's it, Antoine. That was it. That was actually it. That was the whole speculation. And that Rampart Division was the precursor to NWA and all the kids that grew up in the Compton area. And but just for the record, there's no such thing as South Central Los Angeles. So don't go to LA talking about take me to South Central. South Central is basically a street sign in LA. There's a North Central, there's a South Central, there's street signs, but the LAPD basically blackball the whole community, and they basically all the real estate people collaborate together to redline a whole district to not invest in, and they coin it South Central. It's basically Los Angeles. Just letting y'all know. Anybody from LA know what I'm talking about. You know such thing as South Central LA. It's Los Angeles. South Central is a street sign. But yeah, that Rampart division was corrupt, and that's what basically all the kids in LA grew up under, and that's why it kind of bred the whole Ice Cube and all of them fuck the police type thing because they were so fucking dirty. And then we saw it play out in real life with Rodney King getting beat down by 13, 12 cops, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's make believe. Police brutality is a real thing, and it happens in pretty much in the lower income communities. But you got to remember, they only tough when they got the numbers. I mean, they beat up Rodney King, but they had 13 guys with all kind of tack gear on, guns, billy clubs, flashlights, handcuffs, and they were all surrounding him. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do that. But you never seen footage of a cop just knuckling up against 13 Crips or 13 Bloods or 13 Bloods against 13 cops. You never seen that kind of behavior from them when they don't have the numbers. So just keep that in mind. Glad I caught the live. Yeah, that scene is super classic. But BH officers start at 120K, come down start at 75K. Borders sketchy. Plus they have the cartels threatening fan. Well, yeah, I mean, well, part of it, but the military should really be on the border. If you really think Homeland Security, my ass, it should be the fucking U.S. Marine Corps or Army, and you will see a huge difference when you got actual trained military people protecting a line. Yeah, you get a better result. But when you got a cat that was working at a Costco driving a forklift, putting smart water on top of pallets, and then all of a sudden he goes home, watch a few videos, and say, "I want to be a border agent because it looks cool with a nice little infomercial," and goes run down there and sign up for it. Yeah, you ain't got the same individual. We're talking about the U.S. border. We're not talking about guarding. Uh, we're not talking about guarding a cash register or guarding a bank. We're talking about guarding a U.S. border, or international border. That, me personally, that should be done by the United States military, flat out, in my personal opinion. She Fires is adorable. Done some dips. Yes, yeah, yeah. She Fires, good looking lady for sure. Yes, sir. But man, hey, this been going on for a minute, man. I'm gonna get up out of here because I'm gonna go watch some college softball, eat a little food. But I appreciate everybody stopping by. If you guys want to share this and watch the replay, if y'all think I should do a few more lives, let me know. But I just want to get back out and do a live. I hadn't done a live in a while, and I just wanted to share a few thoughts that I was thinking about getting all out in one big giant live versus all these little crazy little videos and this and that and news clippings. Just want to get it all out there. But man, just something to think about, man. But just more importantly, man, be a good person, treat people with respect, and understand that we all in it together. And really, nobody really has our back at American but Americans, and that's what's gonna get us through this whole thing. And like I say, stay armed up. Think about your loadouts. Think about how much ammo you really need. Don't be buying a lot of shit that you know you ain't gonna never use, never need. And understand when you buy guns and buy firearms that when you try to sell them back, you're not going to get your money. So it's best to hold on to them or pass them down, put them somewhere for your kids, because then when shit hit the fan, that's when you can get your full value back. Like a Glock 19 Gen 3 under a shit the fan situation when shit just goes fucking chaos and you got an extra Glock 19 Gen 3 with three mags. Oh yeah, you probably can get $2 or $3,000 for that thing easily, easily, because some neighbor or some friend, they never armed up because they thought they wouldn't need it. Now all of a sudden, shit the fan, they want a gun, but the gun stores don't sell guns over because the military went and took them all, or the law enforcement has controls those guns. We saw that with the Hollywood bank robbery. They went to a gun shop to get guns to fight the guys that was robbing the bank. So you can imagine if some shit hit the fan, the gun shops are going to all shut down. They're all going to close down. They're going to fortify. They might actually put military on top of their roofs, their rooftops, and in their stores to protect those firearms. So because they can't move all that shit either, all that ammo and guns in one big punch. So something to think about. Glock 19 Gen 3s, any Gen 3 model is probably the best bet to buy right now, particularly if you think you might have to get rid of it later and not lose so much on the value. So just think about that for a minute. It's really something to think about. Don't stop doing these lives, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, sir. Anytime, bro. Definitely more lives. Yeah, I like the LA, like the LA riots. Yeah, for sure, the LA riots. But definitely stockpile. Like I said, stockpile firearms over ammunition because when it hits you the fan, the firearm is going to be the value. Ammunition is going to be the value too, but you will be able to get a bunch of money or whatever you need, and then you can still go buy ammo with that. But it's going to be hard to barter ammo with somebody who doesn't actually own a gun. So just keep that in mind, man. Firearms and parts, way to go. Have an X amount of ammo, and then you'll be good, man. Appreciate everybody stopping by, man. Stay blessed. Peace.